Hello, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, people. Make sure you are liking the video and subscribing if you are new. And yeah, we're trying to reach 1K subscribers before the end of the season, people. This is your Everton versus West Ham United match preview. Obviously, the awaited David Moyes return, not to the London Stadium, but the last time we've got to visit Goodison Park. Can say I'm quite relieved in terms of the last visit to Goodison Park. I know we won there last season, funny enough, with David Moyes, but we don't have a good record there. We don't. The record is absolutely awful. It's not as bad over the last few years. But we've never liked travelling well. We never liked facing Everton in the Premier League. Earlier this season, we drew 0-0 when it was Lopetegui versus Sean Dyche. Now it's Moyes versus Graham Potter. There's quite a bit to discuss, but I don't know how much I'm going to discuss in this video. I was originally trying to find some press conference quotes from David Moyes to see what he said about West Ham. He kept it professional, and he said, "I left the club I really enjoyed and had a great time with everyone at the club. After winning the European trophy and coming back, seeing what the East End of London like was fantastic. I've not brought all the players into West Ham, but I've got a lot of close bonds with the players." Yeah, well, that makes sense. Jared Bowen, Antonio Cresswell, Souček, Soufal, etc. There's a few. To be fair, we've actually revamped the squad quite a bit. I don't think he has a close bond with Kudus, but he bought him. He probably has a close bond with Paquetá. He loves Paquetá. But we've got quite a lot of new players as well. So this should be interesting, to be honest. This game is like destined for us to lose. I'm gonna keep it 100. It's destined for us to lose this game. Obviously, Moyes with Everton right now, he's kind of like riding the wave of the new manager bounce, but also for the fact that he's probably the right man to take them across to the end of the season with their last season at the Stadium of Goodison Park, because it's a bit reminiscent of, obviously, we had Bilic, who's a way worse manager than David Moyes, but also like he had that sentimental value, which it is quite important for your last season at a stadium that you've been in for years, because they know what it takes. That whole knows what it means to manage the club stuff is actually quite important in this stage, because at the same time, that brings the crowd on side. That gives you that feel good spirit that will turn your energy up for every single game that you will face from now on. So all of that does make a lot of sense, to be 100% honest with you. And this is the thing. This is the thing. Like, as much as I want some boys, I ain't got anything against the guy like right now. Like, I don't care. I've got a problem with people that are either obsessive with David Moyes and everything he says negatively or everything he says positively. Now the fact that he's at Everton, bro, he's left the club. Get over it. Get over it. Like both sides of the fan base need to just need to just give it a rest, man. They need to just give it a rest. I'm just keeping it 100. They just need to give it a rest, because let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. Like, no matter what your opinion is, if someone leaves your club, you're not gonna keep following their every move. But it was a bit like it's the same that happened with Declan Rice. When Declan Rice left, a lot of the online fan base kept monitoring every move and everything he was saying and stuff like that as well. Do I care? I don't really care how good Moyes does with Everton. I couldn't care less, because it's not my problem. He's got them playing really well right now, and I think he'll beat us on Saturday. I'm going to have a lot of problems with the media because I know exactly what the narratives are going to be. And I expect to lose this game. The reason why I expect to lose this game, as much as I demand a win every game, and I still do, I still demand to win in this game, and I will be a little bit shameless. I'm going to poke fun at the media. I'm not going to poke fun at Moyes. I'm going to poke fun at the media. Well, be careful what you wish for. That sentence is going to be said a lot if we win. Because that's all we were hearing at the back end of last season when we were getting battered by multiple teams, etc. And this game is always going to be interesting with, facing your former manager who divided the fan base, no matter what he did. And that's always going to be the main talking point. I mean, obviously, there's links. Like, people are trying to link Souček to Everton. Like, I don't think Everton are going to go and get Thomas Souček. I don't think Thomas Souček is actually going to want to leave West Ham for Everton. Not because it's a downgrade, but because it's a sideways move. At this current moment in time, we're both in the bottom half of the table, I think. I think Everton are still in the bottom half. I hope they haven't run away too much. I don't think we can overtake them. But it's a sideways move at this current moment in time. I do think it's going to be a bit different for Everton next season, how they're going to settle into the new stadium. Maybe a bit of discontent with... I'm sure that Everton fans are looking forward to it, but there's going to be some people that don't like change. But it's also financially, I don't know what it's like at Everton right now, how they've dealt with the stadium situation, whether they can spend as much next year or whether they've just got to keep afloat or whatever. But as I mentioned in the video when Moyes got appointed, I expected him to get more out of Beto. I knew he'd like Beto. I knew he'd like Decore. Um, Decore spoke on like managers they've got the best out of him, like Deitch when he put him in that second striker role. Moyes is going to carry that on. Obviously, he didn't like Frank Lampard because Frank Lampard is a wanker. Why would you want to play for Frank Lampard? Sort of thing. He's a terrible manager. But Decore is like not the new Fellaini or anything, but he's like a more mobile second striker type Fellaini. Like play the same role, not the same player at all. Beto, like he can run in behind, run channels and stuff, and try and play on the shoulder of defenders and try and capitalize on mistakes and stuff. That's a Moyes striker. What I will say, they are pressing a lot more, which is I don't know why Moyes didn't do that with us. If we just pressed a bit more, you actually might have been able to stay with the same formation you had. He would only press in the odd game, we'd win, and then he'd sit back against like Burnley or Sheffield United or whatever. So I don't know why he's doing it with Everton and not us, and he didn't do it with us, even though we had basically better players on paper and stuff. But that's by the by or whatever. For me, the reason why I think we're going to lose this game as well is because this team is probably going to have more of the ball, but when they do have the ball, the crowd are going to be on side as Everton press us. We're not ready to play through a press right now. I know Todibo can, I know Kilman can, but they've got no midfielders to fucking pass to because none of them go and show for the ball. So I can see us making a mistake by them pressing us and just making a goal out of that. I can see Beto maybe giving Kilman a bit of problems, even though Kilman dealt well with Alexander Isak. But I'd still back Kilman in this situation, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know? They're not really playing like wingers like that. They're playing Lindstrom and Ndai, which I'd back Wan-Bissaka, whether it's Scholes or Emerson at left back, to hold themselves to their own because they won't be taken on 1v1. We got to kind of just force them into crossing situations where Kilman and Todibo can just keep heading it out and try not let Beto get the best of them. But I can see a situation where we may concede from like a cross or something from, I don't know, maybe Lindstrom, because Jacob Bryant's played at right back. He's been rejuvenated. He's someone who should have played a lot more under Deitch, despite the fact that he's a centre back. He's played at right back, and that's got him into the Ireland squad as well. So that was someone we were linked with in the summer. That started really well. Obviously, Branthwaite and Tarkowski, that's always going to be a good partnership. Kind of an old school partnership with someone like Branthwaite, who is good at the no-nonsense defending, but is more known for bringing the ball out. Tarkowski, who isn't terrible on the ball, but is more known for his no-nonsense defending. They complement each other very well. And Mikalenko got his first assist the other day. I think it was against Brentford. So even in the times where they're drawing games and stuff as well, like the Wolves game and stuff, they're not losing. They've only lost. I'm pretty sure they've only lost one game, and that was their first game against Aston Villa under David Moyes. They've drawn with Liverpool. They've drawn with Manchester United. A lot of draws, but they've also got some wins under their belt. I'm pretty sure they scored 2 goals right at the start against Leicester or something. So to be fair, they're doing really well right now. Do I think it's going to carry on necessarily with a lack of investment? Maybe. I don't know. I think I'm more like Moyes is a good player. Moyes is a good manager at getting the best out of what he has before he's making the signings. It's when he's making the signings where it's the problem. And I don't know if he's going to carry on approaching like to sit back in every single game like he did with Everton, because I just can't remember the time he's making them press, which is interesting. I think he's just gone back to how he was like in 2011, well, that era of Everton and all that. A bit of a throwback era. I'm not sure how long he's going to be there for. I'm not sure what the goals are at Everton, whether he's going to try and get them back into Europe. I don't know whether that can happen again. I doubt it. I don't think he's capable of that anymore, in my opinion. But I know that's going to piss some people off. I wouldn't be surprised if they finished above us next season. I wouldn't. Like, it is what it is. For me, on my side of things, I want the midfield to change. I want us to have an extra attacker on a pitch. If you're going to give Branthwaite and Tarkowski problems, you have to have a presence. This is the perfect time to put Evan Ferguson and give him a start. Do I rate Evan Ferguson? No, I don't rate Evan Ferguson. But however, he's not a terrible player, and we signed him on loan, so give him a fucking start. Play 3 attackers. Don't play 3 of the same midfielders. If we keep it unchanged again, I'm going to have to look at Potter a little bit more. I'm going to have to look at Potter for this game. If he gets it wrong with this lineup and he doesn't tweak it like early on, it's his own fault. It's his own fault for doing that. Does that mean I'm Potter out and Potter's the wrong man and all that? No. but I'm going to criticize him if that happens. I don't want to see the same lineup. I don't want to see 5 defenders in this game. We don't need to play 5 defenders. We looked more defensively astute, but we can still be defensively organized with 4 at the back if you just play a wing back if you just play a winger in wing back off the ball, and we go to a 5 out of possession and then go back to a 3 in possession and stuff like that as well. Just tuck Wan-Bissaka in with Tadibo and Kilman, and we should be fine. Tadibo is closer to playing 90 minutes, so expect them to have a panel sub. I'm looking for a better game from most players. I know Kudus is probably going to start again. He needs to perform well in this game. He needs to. You're going to have to start performing well eventually. Stop you're right, because right now you're just an on transition merchant. You need to start playing better when we've got the ball. I don't know who's going to have the ball more in this game. It should be us, but because they start pressing now, it might be them. I say we've got to press them. I say we've got to press them at home and press them into mistakes and see what they've got. We've got to test Jordan Pickford. Because I remember in the reverse fixture in a 0-0, it was quite a weird game. Under Deitch, they were playing Ashley Young at right wing, I'm pretty sure, just spamming crosses. And then we didn't test their keeper all game, and then we tested Pickford right at the end. And then he made mad saves, and we didn't win the game. It was 0-0. But that was a terrible game at home. But I'm expecting kind of a bit of the same, but them just running us over a bit. And I expect a 2-0 loss. I demand a win. No matter how, get it done sort of thing. We've got nothing to play for, but we can't lose this game. We can't lose this game. The media are going to be fucking unbearable if we lose it. And neutrals that don't watch West Ham United are going to be like, shouldn't have sacked Moyes and all that. So we're going to have a lot of that nonsense. But listen, people, make sure to leave a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me. And the email for inquiries on the road to 1K subscribers. Trying to hit that before the end of the season. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.